Hello guys, let's meet again. The return of Prof. Today we're going to discuss about 10 disadvantages of going abroad. As you all know, I'm abroad. I'm the example of people who are abroad. So I'm the example. Let us examine 10 disadvantages of being abroad. And then number one, which is homesickness. When we are talking about homesickness, guys, we are talking about, for example, you are coming from Africa and you are going to UK. You know, in UK there are some diseases which are there. So as an individual who are coming from Africa, you might very easily get affected with those diseases which are in Europe or America or Asia. There are many probabilities that you may get sick when you are there. For example, you may get drinking maple water for the first time in the UK while you're coming from here in Africa. You might get diarrhea, something like that, but at a certain time or after 2 weeks, you get adapted to the place, so you might be better. But at first, it's a disadvantage already. While it's when you are staying here in Africa, you won't get that. So that is number one disadvantages of being abroad. Let us go to number two. Number two, high cost of living. Guys, I don't want to lie. If you go to the new place where you don't adapt, the rent may vary. For example, we are going to Japan in Tokyo, while I was staying here in my country, here in Cape Town. The rent may be different according to how big is the city. You see, for example, here in Cape Town, I'm paying my rent is 2,000 rand for a month, but I'm assuming as if I go to China or if I get to New York, United States of America, if I arrive there, I think I won't pay a one room like this one for a 2,000 rand. I don't think so. The rent may be too high for me, while it will be taking too long for me to adapt to that certain standard of living for that country. So it's a disadvantage. Before you go there or before you go abroad, you have to have a full research about renting, where are you going to get the work, communication, everything, food. It might be very different because laws or standards are not the same in each and every country. Each country has got its own system of operating things, so it's a disadvantage. Number two. Let us go to number three. Number three, which is language barrier. Guys, as you all know, I can't count. In fact, I don't know how many languages do we have in the entire world. But what I know, even here in South Africa, I'm used to struggle because here we have almost something like 18 languages here in South Africa alone. So, for example, let's say you are going to America, how many languages would you face there? So, before you go abroad, you have to at least you have to know a little bit English, at least 50% and above, you have to know at least English. So most of us guys, we go to school. So it's a big problem if you go to school to communicate when you are abroad. Because if you are abroad, you might face different categories of people. So for you to be very simple to communicate, you have to know at least English. But though still, it will be a disadvantage because in some certain areas, they don't even want to speak English. They want to speak their languages. So it might be a big problem for you if you don't prepare very well to go abroad. You have to be very well oiled machine when you are going to abroad. So and well prepared to the culture. We are going to meet people in different places, and you speaking only English, while some of people in that country they will be speaking their local languages. It might be a big challenge to you. So prepare for that. Let us go to number four. Number four, which is cultural differences. As you all know, every category of people have got their own culture. So if you go to a certain country or to another country, you might face another new culture. So it's going to be very difficult for you to cope that culture, which is a big problem. You might need something like 1 year, some might need something like 6 months, some might need something like 4 months to adapt to a certain culture, which is a big problem. So when you go abroad, you have to research first about the culture of where are you going to. You have to know what those people do, what those people like, what those people don't like, advantages and disadvantages, benefits and disbenefits of their culture to you. So you have to well prepared about that, which is a big disadvantages, especially even for me. It will be very difficult for me if I go maybe to a country like Botswana. If I go there, I will start to learn new cultures, while I do have my own cultures. So I have to know my cultures. At the same time, I have to know their country's culture. So it's going to be a very big disadvantage for me. I don't want to lie. So when you're going abroad, you have to be well prepared, guys, to learn and adapt very fast with the new culture you're going to face there. It mustn't come as a surprise. You have to know about it, that if you are going to a certain country, you have to face new cultures, new faces, new type of peoples, everything. So it's a disadvantage, guys. Let us go to number 5. Legal and immigration challenges. For example, you are going to a certain country. Obviously, if you are going to a certain country, the first document you have to go is a passport. On passport, they will give you some days, entry days. For example, you're going to look for work in a certain country, but on your passport, they give you 30 days. While if you go there, maybe there will be some challenges for you to get that work in time, maybe delayments, or in most countries, we do have something like traffic jams. We may be delayed with the traffic jams, so that to a certain point where we're going to be delaying. While if you are delaying, those days they give you on your passport are going to be expired. When you come back again to the border, they're going to arrest you, or before you go to the border, they might arrest you. If you are lucky, if you go to the border, they say, you are overstaying here in our country, you are going to pay some huge fines, or they are going to arrest you and put you in a jail, which is a disadvantage being abroad. Big disadvantage of being abroad, guys. So you have to make sure, 100% sure, that if you are abroad, make sure your papers are in a correct way. They mustn't expire. Everything will be online, because you will struggle and you will pay huge amount of nothing. You see? So let us go to number 6, which is job uncertainty. Guys, if you are going to a certain country, most point of your view is going to work. Most of us are going to work. Like yeah, we have some of our guys who are going for adventures and for trips, but let's say 80% of people, when they're going abroad, they are searching for greener pastures, like they need work. So before you go, you might have a research that in a certain country they need people for this type of job, and I took a flight and go there. When I go there, for example, I'll go there and work something like 2 months on that job. Maybe that job will end, or they will try to recruit. For example, maybe they were in need of 50 people. Maybe you might be the one who will be recruited out and left without a job. You are in a foreign land, and this thing might come for you, and not being prepared enough. You don't have money, you don't have any relative, you are in a foreign land, you have passport. That passport needs some days, it gives you some days you are allowed to be in a country. So what follows, you might go arrested by police. You might start maybe dealing with criminals, you might start maybe stealing for you to survive, while you don't want to go to police, because as human beings, we are different in characters. For example, if it is me, who my passport is maybe left with 2 weeks to be expired, without money for me going back to my country, I might go to the police and tell them this is the situation. It will be rather for them to arrest me than for me to start being a criminal, like housebreaking, doing something for me to survive. So it's a big challenge. Let us go to number 7, which is accommodation problems. You see, if you are in a foreign land, it's very rare to find a beautiful place to sit, because when you arrive in a new place, you have pressure in your head that I have to get a place to live, at least for me to sleep. So you don't have 100% choice. You might get a room which is not well prepared for its role, for without a toilet, without proper electricity, just because you are in a foreign land, which is a bit disadvantage. So not that one. When you are going to a foreign land, you have to first have money, you have to know the place where you're going. At least there are some agents, you have to contact some agents for you to, they have to find a better place for you, not just come as a random, like it's not fine. So if you're going to a foreign land, guys, or if you're going abroad, be well prepared. I think the first weapon you must have is money. If you have your own money first, your money can save you many times. Listen to me, I have an experience of being abroad something like 10 years. I have been traveling on 13 countries as of now. I have a well experience of being abroad. The first weapon you must have is your money. Your money can save you everywhere. Money and the language, that is the most important thing when you are going abroad. You have your money, no English. It will going to be very easy for you to interact with some locals. So let us go to number 8. Risk of scams. Guys, if you are going to any new country, obviously you don't know everything there. Yeah, you might know how to read, how to know you are on a station, you are maybe you're on a destination, maybe you're trying to ask the locals, guys, where can I find the buses to London? Where can I find the buses to Manchester? And what they first ask you, where do you come from? With your station, you might tell them the truth, maybe thinking maybe they will help you, while they will use your truth to rob you or to scam you. You can say. So in most some cases, if you are in a foreign land, you are very likely to get scammed with the locals because they know if someone comes from a foreign country, the most thing you probably have is money, and that people don't know anyone. So it's a bit disadvantage of being abroad, guys, which is number 8. Now we're going to number 9. Loneliness and the social isolation. Obvious, if you're going abroad, you're going to leave your friends, your local friends, maybe even your wife or even your girlfriend. In most of cases, they're going to a new land. So most of your time you're going to be lonely. You'll be with yourself on the whole day, or maybe if you're going to work, you're going to start adapting to the locals little. Maybe it's going to take you maybe a year to find a better or a suitable friend for you. We don't know, because as human beings we are different. Even me, it's very difficult for me to get a friend. Even if I am on my local land, it's very difficult for me to get a proper friend. So for example, let us assume maybe I'm in Nigeria now and I'm trying to get the new friends there. So it's going to take too much long for me to get friends. So get prepared when you're going abroad, guys. It's going to be a very wonderful journey for you. So it's a disadvantage. Let's go to the last one, which is limited access to healthcare. In some certain countries, maybe you are not healthy enough. You might need health care most times. So if you are in a foreign land, it's going to be very difficult. Like price differs. Maybe in my country, I was adapting that to cure a certain disease, I have to pay this amount. Maybe in that country, to cure the disease, I have to pay this much. So it's going to be a huge challenge. So before you go to a foreign land, you have to be well prepared and you have to do a big research about how I am going to survive on this land, because I'm coming from point A to point B. So you have to know everything you are going to face in that country, and you have to know, are you capable of handling those disadvantages or those situations I'm going to face in that foreign land. I think for today, next time we're going to discuss about the advantages of being abroad.